everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video. And as you can see, we've got a different setup than usual. And why is that? Is it because we're doing something different? Well, no, not anymore. This illustration that I am working on right now is of my original character, Anastasia Vale, aka Flyvale, aka the Black Fox, who is my superhero OC, and she is very old. And I was going to do this for a project where I would draw over this sketch in all of the different art programs that I've used in the 12 years of me being a digital artist. Yes, I've been a digital artist for 12 years. This sketch was based off of this pose of Makime from the anime Chainsaw Man. Not my favorite anime, but I gotta admit, I do like certain things of Makime, the little demonic psycho witch. And no, it has nothing to do with the latest chapter of Chainsaw Man. I haven't seen it. I'm only an anime watcher. I don't know anything about Chainsaw Man. So I thought I'd preface this because I actually came up with this concept of this video before that chapter even came out. But why am I not doing the original concept? Well, as you can tell from my last video and my community tabs, it's been really hectic with life right now, and I just didn't really think I was going to ever get around to this in a reasonable amount of time. Plus, also this pose that I came up with, it's very nice. I love this illustration. I'm very satisfied with it when it was done. But it was a little too much work to draw this in every single art program that I've used. It would have been clipstudiopaint, Krita, mini bang, llama, alpaca, something, whatever it's called, fire alpaca. Thank you. MS Paint, Windows 11, and yeah, I think that's all of them. And I was gonna just, well, maybe draw is not the correct word. I was gonna just color over this sketch. I had this sketch very minimalistic, so it would have just the basic shape, and I was just kind of cleaning it up so that way it would be easier for me to work with in each different program. And I was just going to do that in every single art program, but like I said, it wasn't working out for a multitude of reasons, so I just decided to scrap that altogether. But I already had this presentation already created, so I decided to just release the Speedpaint by itself. And in the end, like I said, I am very happy with this drawing, and that's mainly... That was my phone. I'm usually more better prepared for this entire setup, but tonight I'm not. But yes, in the end, I just decided to release the Speedpaint by itself because, like I said, I was really happy with this drawing. I don't draw, her name is Anastasia Vale, but I always end up calling her Fly. It's just a nickname I gave her. It's actually from the dog from the movie, Babe. I love that movie, and I always like the dog, and for some reason I decided to give her the nickname Fly. It was an anagram for fabulous, lovely, and young. I was really young when I made her. She was my first, well, she wasn't my first OC. My first OC was actually one called Ariel, named after, you know, the Little Mermaid, and she was my very first one that I made. I don't really do anything at all with her. I made her like when I was 5, if you want to say that, and I drew pictures of her as a mermaid. She was like a mermaid who was a superhero, and was really, really fun as a kid, but now it's cringe as an adult. But then later on, around 2000, it was 2009 or 2010. I know it definitely was 2010 because it was right around this year that Young Justice came out, so probably 2010. I made her, and I was very happy with her. I was a long process over time. She was inspired off of the character Huntress from the DC universe, the cartoon one by Bruce Timm, and I loved Huntress, and I really did want my own version of her. And over time, I created this girl, and since I named my first original character Ariel after The Little Mermaid, I decided to name her after my second favorite animated movie, Anastasia. And I gave her the persona the Black Coyote, but then later on I changed it to Fox because I liked the title Fox better because it was sleek and sexy, and then also later on it had the tie-in was X-Files because of Fox Mulder, and so I really was happy. I really was satisfied with that. And her design hasn't really actually changed that much. It's mostly her outfit. She used to wear just like a turtleneck, I think, and long black pants, and then later on I gave her a tank top instead with some shorts and a red jacket with some fuzz. I actually based that off of Izaya Orihara from the anime Durarara, and that's where I came up with that. But then I ended up shaping up the jacket a little bit to make it not as big and bulky, and then I just gave her some jewelry and stuff. And like I said, she hasn't actually changed that much in the time that I've made her, and I'm very pleased with my design of her. My biggest problem was her is because originally when I was drawing her, I just colored over pictures of hunters. I'm gonna see if I can edit it to make it appear right there. There they go. Yeah, those. I colored over hunters and it was MS Paint, and that was my introduction to digital art. And like I said, it was just something that I did early on, and because I did her early on, I thought that would be fun to do this entire digital art trip down memory lane with her, since she was the first character that I did in digital art, period. And it was very fun making this drawing. If you actually notice, you won't be able to, probably because it's going too fast, but I am only using the brushes that come with clipstudiopaint on default. The reason why is because I was going to limit myself for this challenge to only use the default brushes and materials, so I wasn't using anything that I downloaded, or if I did, I ended up going back and then redoing it in a default brush. And I gotta say, this entire drawing was a very fun experience. I wish I could have done it in the Ever art programs, but I realized that if I am going to do that, I need something a little simpler to draw, something that's not as detailed as this. This has got a lot going on with it. Could be worse, could be way worse, but I think I just need to do just the character, no background. Fun fact, Fly, she actually originally had blue eyes, because I love blue, and even though her ethnicity is Indian, Asian Indian, but I decided to give her blue eyes just the same because I liked blue eyes, and I thought maybe there could be a reason to it. But then later on I changed it to green, and the only reason why I picked green was because there was one Scooby-Doo episode where every member of this family had green eyes, and then the culprit of one episode ended up wearing contacts to hide his green eyes, to hide the fact that he was a part of the family and therefore entitled to the secret treasure fortune. I forget which episode it was. It was in the original Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And so because of that, I decided to give her green eyes, and then I decided to give her eyes a little bit of fancy detail. I got that idea from an anime that I don't watch anymore, but I did watch back when I was younger, and then also an anime that I do still watch to this day, Death Parade. Really do like that one. And I think I was gonna actually say this earlier, but I ended up losing my train of thought. My biggest problem always was Fly when drawing her nowadays is just because sometimes I can't make her look old enough. Sometimes she looks a little too young. But I think I've gotten a lot better. With each time I draw her, she looks better and better each time. And I want to draw her a little bit more, but at the same time, her story isn't active. You can hear my brother in the background. I'm recording this audio now because I have the brain power to do it, and I'm just like, might as well do it right now, because the way life is, you don't want to count your chickens before you hatch or whatever. You don't want to act like you might not have time tomorrow. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I'm recording this audio now, even though it's probably not the best time. But anyway, that was always the hardest part when drawing Fly, is making her look old enough, because she is the oldest one out of all my characters, at least my main characters. Obviously, I got like characters like in Revolution Full Color. I said I got Dr. Marlone. He's about in his 50s, and I haven't actually drawn him yet. So obviously, I got characters who are older, but out of my main characters, the ones who are the main protagonists, she is the oldest. She is born in 89. Originally, she was supposed to be born in 91, but then I changed to 89 because it didn't seem like it was old enough. Plus, that's also the year that The Little Mermaid came out. And I figured it would give her enough experience and such. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about her. Originally, she was actually just kind of tannish. But then I started making her darker and darker skin until I suddenly decided to make her Indian. And then I realized, oh wait, I'm Indian. Did I make her Indian just because I'm Indian? But I'm like, no, I wasn't even really thinking of that. It just was a coincidence. So that happened. I accidentally made my original character the same ethnicity as me. No one would believe that. They would think that I just did it because she's supposed to be an insert OC like Velma. I swear she's not like Velma from that horrible, I don't even call that Scooby-Doo. That's something else. That's an abomination from hell. Mindy Kaling, you ruined Scooby-Doo. But nonetheless, she's not an insert OC. At least she tries not to be. I mean, I try not to make her be. And I am very proud of her. If I had to describe her, she would be very cool, very confident, very sexy, not very good with children, loves to fight. You can kind of get the base of what I'm trying to say from those attributes. She ain't that original, but I do take moments where I add a little bit something to her. Like one thing that people would be very surprised when they actually meet her is that she's actually pretty sexist against women. She doesn't like women because she finds them to be a disappointment because she's like, oh, I can do these things, why can't you? So she kind of looks down on a lot of other women, and she really doesn't like kids, which is actually a never hard thing when I'm actually writing her, is because I love children, and most of my characters at least tolerate children. Like, Masato would probably be the one who would like children the least, but she's not hostile to our children. She hates children. She would be that person from the meme who kicks a child to the moon. She could. That's what type of person she is. But yeah, she's just rich girl who decided to become a superhero. That's pretty much her story. There's obviously more to it, but it's way too long to explain here. I will say though that it actually takes place on the same island as Revolution Full Color. In fact, I actually made the Light Islands, which is the fictional nation off the east coast of America that I created for her series. Originally was my brother, because her series, which we just call Protectors, is something that we work on together. And so I originally made it with him, and it was for that. And then I just kind of made all my series take place there. It's not in the same universe though, so there's no connection. I forgot to record her eyes. I got so disappointed with that. I pushed pause and then I forgot to push play. I always hate it when that happens. It's really annoying. Anyway, I then just added some filters and cleaned it up a little bit, and yeah, there you go. It's not very detailed in the background, but I am very satisfied with how she turned out, and I love how I did the coloring here, and I hope you do too. And if you did like it, do all the YouTube things, and if you didn't like it, thanks for watching this far. Anyway, I will be back with another video hopefully sometime soon. Until then, bye!